So I was gonna upload a real cringy video of me washing my hands to defend myself from the COVID-19 pandemic until I saw this request. Although I'm not sure if I'm gonna promise this on not roasting you, to be honest, I might accidentally do it. I mean, I'm literally trying to send you links on beating Diety. I gave you a Marvin Filthy Diety guides here. Also, oh, the other links are also in this comments reply. I tried to copy paste it to another reply, but for some reason it's not loading onto you. Yeah, I've literally made the same reply 8 times. Yes, I did. Okay, onto the video. Although, well, I'm gonna make this a minimum of 20 minutes, so I'll try to go through this as quickly as I can. Diety? You know, I've heard various people pronounce deity, but you can actually look up on how to pronounce this word. It's actually deity. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, hold up. Well, just want to make sure. Okay, I just want to check if I'm pronouncing that right. D-Y-D. Got it? I just want to check on the pronunciations of it, since many people pronounce it deity, but you can look up on how to pronounce on words. You have the internet at your disposal. I don't know why anybody hasn't even looked up on how to pronounce deity. Anyways, back to the video. Hey, that's me! Okay, you've set your settings into this amount. Normally I just reset the default, but I've tried like extreme temperature, extreme map height, and low resource richness, and max, and all sorts of crazy settings. I did it on a Babylon playthrough and I immediately regretted it. Anyways, that's an unrelated note. Your settings is Pangea world size medium. On world size medium, you can fit a total of 8 cities per civ. Minus 1 or 2 civs, you can fit an extra 4 or to 7 or 8 city states. You have all victory conditions on. I normally have his on since, well, I just think deity is a breeze as long as you focus on science and not on expansion. Cough, cough. Okay, and you're on quick speed. You're starting on just like me. Although, why don't you have city states on? City states can give you nice bonuses, such as building up your military slowly and giving you culture. Wow, that's a lot of mods. Oh look, there's the Philippines. I'm a local, American Filipino. Although I'm not as corrupt as the state itself, I believe in the principles of proprietarianism. Okay, when it comes to selling your city, you're gonna determine it based on. You missed the 9 o'clock. Okay, my mom just had to remind me about school work, which I'm about to do anyway. This is quarantine. There's supposed to be distance learning involved. Anyways, back to the video. Okay. Nice settling location. And you have like 2 luxuries in my range, gonna give you happiness. You have sheep, which is gonna give extra food, and plus you have hills. This is a pretty good starting location. The early game will carry you to the mid and late game if you play your cards right. Eh? Okay, exploration's good. Uh, More technologically advanced? Well, yes. Technically, that is one of the other ways, but it, if you look up online on CIV AI bonuses, you can see that the AI he's gonna best you in everything, including science, and if you prioritize his happiness, his empire population, and science buildings, you can catch up with the AI pretty quickly. Here, let me show you. Okay, on Diety, I have this amount of science, and if you look on Victor's Dice, check the rankings. This demographics area is especially useful. And I'm up to 37 technologies. I've caught up with the AI. How have I done this? Well, for one thing, you're gonna need the National College and a minimum of 4 cities. Yes, so I've settled Muscovy, St. Petersburg, Novgorod. However, since China cut me off from expansion, I had to conquer most of their cities. I mean, when it comes to Civ 5, the more cities you have, the more science you need to finish your technology. So a bigger empire does not, will eventually, in a later update, not equate to more science. A bigger empire will not always equate to more science unless if you have a buttload of happiness. That is one way you're gonna need to catch up in science is build is step 1, get up all of your standard cities down. Make sure you have all your luxuries worked, and prior to that you should research the technologies you need in order for you to get that technology. For example, if you have dice, you can either not work that tile for the extra science and gold, or you can get bronze working and calendar just to remove the forests. Here, you can get bronze working to remove the forests, and calendar to enable the plantation. While you're doing this, you're gonna need to get up writing. Make sure you have a library in all of your cities. Preferably, build up a library in a city that already has 3 or 4 population, where you can get more science. And prior to some sort of update, the National College was originally in civil service, so you needed to beeline towards civil service. However, getting the National College is slightly faster since now it's in philosophy. So once you have all your luxuries and amenities up, beeline straight to for philosophy. Make sure you have a, library knowledge of your cities and get the National College. It's ASAP in. Make sure to build it in your capital since it's usually one of your highest productive cities. Yes, as you can see here, I built the National College, and as you can see, I have a lot of save files, so this is like an archive. So, around turn one, by around turn 80, I was researching philosophy, and now I have the National College built around on turn 99. Typically, you need a National College around on turn 100, and next turn, you once you finish the National College, you get a lot of science. Also, once you gotten philosophy, beeline towards civil service. Make sure you get open borders. Befriend all the civs around you. Make sure you have open borders with them to improve diplomatic relations. Why do you want to do it? It's for the research agreements when you get to education. If the civ, if the advanced civ, if the most advanced civ has education, it has, and so does you. You have the ability to enable research agreements, which can help you go through the technology tree faster. It reduces the amount of turns you can get to researching a technology. Usually, it works with the same technology as the other civ. For example, if both civs have chivalry or guilds, it's gonna be all completed in under these amount of turns. The game says it would take to finish those texts. So make sure you get the National College research education, build all the universities you need in your cities. Build all of your cities ASAP. And then once you get universities in all of your cities, build the National College. Also, if you want to catch up on tech, you're gonna need to beeline, aka go straight for these technologies. You're gonna need to research education, obviously, for the university. If you set any city next a mountain, you're gonna need to beeline for astronomy for the lovely observatory. Yeah. Printing press for the happiness. Yes. Engineering for the aqueduct. Okay. Since it makes your population grow quicker. Construction for the Colosseum, it gives you extra happiness. Now you're gonna need to beeline, aka go straight for scientific theory. I mean, at this point, you can either beeline towards a food-based, base empire, first, or go straight for scientific theory. Population is science. The more you grow your population, the better your science will be. Next, you're gonna need to beeline, aka go straight for these lovely two texts. Refrigeration, if your happiness is a-okay, you might not need it. But if you need more happiness, just go straight towards refrigeration for the stadiums. And plastics for the lovely research labs. Next up on the list on how to catch up on Diety. Once you have your universities up, you're gonna need to immediately work like on science specialists immediately, and also make sure you're having a full-time job on each of your cities on population growth, since population is science. And so basically grow your population as fast as you can. Put a huge emphasis to science, population, and population/food, and the happiness buildings to maximize your science input. Right? And also, we'll prioritize specialist slots once you have the population. And it gives not only gives you extra science, but it also gives you great scientist points. The more great scientist points you have, the more likely you're going to get the great a person of great scientists. Great scientists can either speed up how long speed up the research of a tech. If it's on quick speed, if it's under 4 or 5 turns, it immediately researches it. Otherwise, it just reduces a significant amount of research you need to do on a tech. But I highly recommend building academies once you're in the mid game, prior to the modern era. But once you're in the modern era, just use your great scientists to. Once you're in the modern era and information era, just use your great scientists to rush the research on these texts. And also, if our population still low in your cities and you're still playing tall and you have a butler, the medical lab is for you once you research pharmaceuticals. This computers is a bit more late game, and so are these production and techs. But if you're using your cities to produce science via production, you can need more production and base buildings such as the workshop and the windmill. But after all of this research, if you prioritize science heavily, you will catch up with the AI in terms of technologies. Yes. Also, there's a method called trade siphoning, but that's so illegal. I just want to keep it in the game. Okay. I'm Russia, and I've already caught up with the times. Babylon's in the technique, but as soon as I expand my lovely empire and play a bit more wide, I'll gain these. I'll gain the technological superiority. And so what I'm saying here is, get research agreements. Beeline straight towards the science texts. Put a high priority to happiness, science, and population buildings. If your empire is small, I'll grow a bit more or tall on population. If your empire has a lot of cities, you might need to go a bit more wide. Such a playthrough requires a lot of cities and domination victory. You're gonna need to have fewer population cities and is whilst having a lot of cities. Just because you have a lot of cities does not mean you can grow tall in all of them. There is happiness. You're gonna need to write huge emphasis on that. Also, oh, your playstyle of letting the game doing stuff for you. It's like a 2015 automatic driving car. It's efficient at times, and yet it can easily run over a live pigeon. And that self-driving car can also drive over a human. So what you're gonna need to do is to turn off auto assign in city production, and this is optional, but you can turn off auto build roads. But units of AI is slightly better than civilization AI, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna have great roads instead of roads that look like a squiggly line that a child drew on the face of the earth. Uh, and once you turn off auto assigned city production, you're gonna need to just decide on what you need to produce for your civilization. As you can see, I put high priority to library observatory and universities. Okay, this is 20 minutes. If it gets to the 30-minute mark, I'm gonna have to end this video here and make it a part 1 series. Part 2 will be coming out tomorrow. Okay, back to the video. More cities does not always equal more populations, and it's gonna take a toll on your happiness. I mean, as long as you have happiness, wonders, and amenities and luxuries all worked up, you're gonna be fine for or the happiness is here. But I but Civ guides prefer you to grow your cities to high population cities. But since you want more city, is to get more science, and you're on a medium-sized map with 4 players, playing tall is not too bad of an idea. Uh, it's just that you gotta manage your happiness properly. Once you get to a certain... For me, I just play tall and then wide. Once I go into unhappiness, if you're gonna have a high population input in all of your cities on the make sure you play wide, grow your cities to a specific amount of population, and then stop growing. That's how you're gonna play and survive Deity. In this instance, it's a average. Its high population city is going to be 10 population, but since you're gonna play a bit more on the tall side, it and the max amount of population and special stuff you can do is 4. So grow your cities. Make sure your cities are still working and in food until you grow a certain amount of population, such as population 8. The one half can work science specialist, while the other half can work on food and or production. So once you get a certain population number, such as population 8, you need to stop there, or, or you need to measure population. If you're going for tradition and monarchy, you can just go full food on your capital, and get away with a tall or high population capital. Since you have monarchy, yeah, and your capital city's population adds on by a half on happiness. Tradition, good choice. You're gonna need monarchy if you're going to play a tall. Well, since more cities equate to more unhappiness, so you're gonna need to match your happiness a bit more. Or if you're gonna play a bit more wide with more cities. I haven't even played wide from beginning to end, to be honest, since I'm not that type of player. But there's plenty of Civ 5 guides on how to play tall. When it comes to deity, warfare is a lot more harder since the AI gets more technologically advanced units as you go technologically unadvanced. And as you like to call it. But however, er, if you're gonna develop tactics on military tactics on deity, make sure you prioritize science production and build up a small military. And make sure you don't lose any units. It's keep your units safe. Maybe tempting to destroy a unit just like you can destroy that other unit, but you should keep your units as safe as you can. And then, in the end game, with a lot of warfare that you're going to possibly encounter in your own games, you're gonna have OP units if you who save up on units, hits and make sure to protect them. And you're gonna have OP upgrades such as logistics, march, indirect fire, indirect range. These types of upgrades, especially on range units and melee units, are are pretty OP. Is yeah. With all of these units, you're gonna experience in order to get more OP units, and what better way to do it than to farm XP from a literal dying on irrelevant civ? Yep. Or you can farm XP from city states. Just make sure you don't declare war more than 2 times. Once you declare, from what I heard, once you get declare war 3 times in Civ 5, all the city states and people in the world aren't gonna be happy about you who existing. So yeah, don't make sure you're careful about city states. Do you want them to be your ally or do you want them to be your enemy just so you can farm experience from them? That's right, and that's why you should prioritize science production because they're more are technologically advanced than you. I mean, yes, as you can trade technologies with them, but you're most likely in, unable to due to technology, the AI's large scientific advantages. I mean, do a game on settler her difficulty, and you can see why the AI is so powerful. Or for one thing, the more cities the AI has, the more powerful it's going to be. Yeah, yeah. A correlation between the amount of cities these ships have and the amount of power they have it is a correlation here. Alright. Alright. By just playing cellular difficulty, you get what I mean in on why the AI is so powerful, boy, and hard to beat. However, it has one weakness, and that weakness is that at board game AI is very hard to program, which causes them to make stupid decisions such as get their unit out of the city in order to attack a unit. And at least, however, that can be a weakness, but it can also be your greatest strength if you're on deity, having like 4 archers and 2 warrior army. I've tried that type of tactic and it works. And you can easily siege cities. Is with my military tactics here. It's almost getting to the 30-minute mark. I'm gonna have to do a part 1 and part 2 today. Thank you so much for watching, boys and girls. I'm Alex the Grape, and it's next time. Bye.